Name is Anne Marie Hughes, and I'm here today with a fellow survivor, Brad Richardson. Hey, just in keeping with our Thanksgiving theme, what are you grateful for, and what are you doing to pay it forward?
So I'm extremely thankful for my family, my wife, my kids, my in-laws, been here from day one. Making sure that I can get to all my appointments, making sure that I don't miss any treatments at all, and not have to worry about the day in and day out things that life brings you. Um, I also have a good group of friends, um, co-workers, neighbors who also just step in and helps like throughout the time I've been diagnosed. And it's extremely helpful to keep me positive and not really have to worry about everything that life brings you.
Brad, why don't you tell us about yourself and a little bit about your journey and a mantra you have in your life?
I'm 46 years old. I was diagnosed in March 2020, just when I was 43, just before my 44th birthday. Um, I'm a survivor. My mantra that I've held from early on, and one of my friends from work had told me that tough times don't last, but tough people do. So, I really think that I'm just one of those people who are strong-willed and ready for the fight. Because this definitely is a fight of a lifetime. Um, Back in March of 2020, I started having some pain in my back. That I kind of treated with some over-the-counter medications like Aleve and stuff, and upset stomach, some heartburn. I was feeling like I wasn't really like digesting my food and stuff. And looking back, there were probably some other symptoms that I really didn't, I guess, know, but more of a problem. But there were some changes in my bowels. I had some itching on my body and stuff like that. So I know that those are some other symptoms that could pop up for some people. But you know, all of my symptoms were fairly mild. So something else I thought in my head like maybe an ulcer or maybe some heartburn that I needed something more than over the counter medications. I relatively healthy, I exercise a lot, I'm outdoors, I do a lot of different things. So um again, like nothing was really slowing me down.
Yeah.
Um so I'm lucky to still have, just coming up on 20 months as a survivor, still fighting the fight. It's tough, but I make small lists every day, even if it's a couple days after treatment when I'm really feeling some of the side effects. I just getting up, brushing my teeth, getting a shower, getting dressed. I see all those things as little accomplishments. So um, and still stay active with my kids and stuff. And I think they have a big part in you know keeping things positive. I mean, kids always keep you young, so
Tell us a little bit about what you did once you were diagnosed. Did you get a second opinion? Where did you go? And what was your treatment?
they did multiple other tests to locate where this tumor was, and it was located on the head of my pancreas, near some of the SMV veins, the veins that are close proximity. So difficult spot, um, you know. And then they transferred me over to Philadelphia, Jefferson, and they did a few more tests. That's where I met my oncologist, Dr. Lynn, and decided to go for treatment there. Um, I do use social media to talk to a lot of friends and things like that. And through that, I actually reconnected with a guy that I went to college with, and he knew a pancreatic surgeon who was at Fox Chase, Dr. Sanjay Reddy. And I started talking with Jefferson doctors and reached out to Fox Chase, and it seemed like they really had a good plan. With the location of this tumor and the proximity of the veins, they decided to go with chemotherapy first, and then a radiation protocol, and then the goal was to go to surgery. And from the beginning, everybody was very optimistic and positive and so forth. So I started treatment right in the beginning of April. So it was just about a month from diagnosis to starting chemotherapy, and that led me to the surgery. So I started with laparoscopic surgery, and just before that, I had a PET scan, and they had noticed some additional nodules, I guess, on that scan, and there was some concern about it spreading to the peritoneum area. At that point, they did the laparoscopic surgery and confirmed that there had been some spread, which at that time the surgeon had to abort the laparoscopic surgery, and removal of the tumor was not possible. So in November, I started gemcitabine, Abraxane. I did 4 rounds of that. And in January of 2021, we did a follow-up CT scan, and found that there was some growth. It wasn't significant, but didn't feel that the gemcitabine treatment was being effective. So we started looking into some clinical trials, and I was able to get into a clinical trial at Jefferson that targeted one of my mutations. In the beginning, going back, I did the genetic testing, which was actually recommended through PanCan and my doctors as well. They found that there was no genetic reason, so it's not something that runs in my family. I don't have a family history, very, very minimal cancer history, but no pancreatic at all. And but they did notice that there was 4 mutations. So this clinical trial actually targeted one of the mutations I had, the CDKN2A, and I started that in February of 2021, and that was an 8-week trial. We did a follow-up scan again that showed some additional progression in the peritoneum area. The primary tumor in the pancreas was stable, though, so there was some positive news. But with the growth, we decided that we would go back to Fulfuri chemo, which was derivative, I guess, or difference of the FOLFIRINOX, because I did have some progress on shrinkage with using that, but I had some side effects with neuropathy and stuff.
Yeah, isn't that that's a tough one.
Yeah, FOLFIRINOX definitely is not for the faint of heart. I just got to a point last week where there was one new nodule that was noticed on a CT scan. So we had some options on staying with the current Fulfuri, looking at other clinical trials, or go back and try the FOLFIRINOX, which I had some success with. But at this time, I'm actually deciding to start another clinical trial. This is a RAS, targets RAS mutations. It's the general. It's not specific to my mutation, but it's a general RAS, targets RAS in general.
So how are you